Hello everybody and welcome back to Automation. Today we're going to do another one of the scenarios, back to the general ones that I haven't done yet. We did this one in the last video. I did this one on my own. This time I'd like to step up to something in the hard category and something pretty modern. That one's pretty modern. Pretty low budget one there. It's Hot Pursuit. Older technology. Jack of all motors. I like the way this one's looking. Looks like it's pretty open to anything. And that's basically what car companies do nowadays, is they build motors to fit in anything they will build. So let's go for that one. Okay, looking at our limitations here, got the year is 2001 on premium unleaded, which is nice. Emissions less than 250 and smoothness more than 50. So those are two new ones there. Power, which is a pretty insignificant point percentage, but of 228. That's to survive for 62,000 kilometers. Highest percentage there. Economy less than 0.74. Cost less than 1,800, and responsiveness more than 30, but it only has to do it. Which makes me think that it should be up here, but whatever. Once again, we get to choose whatever we like, and I think what I'm feeling this time is an inline 4. No weight, no weight restrictions, so we're gonna go with the cast iron. And a pretty big motor, about 106 bore. That's a giant bore motor, but a pretty short stroke. Let's see, maybe a 2.7 ish. We can play around with that later, need be. I'd like to spin pretty fast. Of course, this is torque here. It's a pretty big motor. We'll go with the forged steel there. I'd like this to be a pretty stout motor, so I'm going to go with the forged H-beam there and forged pistons. Just going to drive our cost up, which means we won't be able to use as much technology, but I don't think we're going to need it in this case. I'm going to go dual thread cam, 4 valves per cylinder, because I think I'm going to need a very high flowing, efficient engine to get that emissions and economy down. Let's go for a aluminum head because they flow better. A pretty low compression because I have something planned here. And we'll keep that 40 cam profile for now. No VVT, no VVL. Probably not going to have the money to do that. Let's look at rocker covers real quick. I like that one. Smooth looking. Almost looks like a Nissan valve cover, which I'm pretty familiar with. Let's see. Ooh, I like the white with the red lettering. That looks good. That almost looks a little Toyota-ish. Anyway, here's where I want to go with this. I want to go turbocharged. Now, it's going to present some challenges because this is a pretty cheap motor and it's got to be efficient but make quite a bit of power for 4-cylinder. Honestly, 228, it probably would have been easier to go straight 6 or even V8, or a real small V8, but I really want to mess around with the turbo some more, so I'm going to go with that for now. Choice of journal bearing or ball bearing. Let's see, the ball bearing is definitely more efficient, spools up quicker. haven't got the money in this one to really mess around with that, so I think we'll just stick with the journal bearing. Intercoolers. I'm gonna start out with the air-to-air small. What's the cost difference here? Pretty big. I'm gonna stick with that for now because they were really smart in doing these presets, because this stuff over here, I barely understand it, and I'm sure most of the people that are gonna pick up this game aren't gonna understand this stuff at all. So these presets give you, you know, a good range of an economy setup or performance setup that you would find in like a sports car, and a full race turbo, which you would find in a race car that you wouldn't want to use on the street probably. 18.4 psi. I'm going to start with the economy one just to see what we can get out of it. As for the fuel system, I'm going to definitely go with an injection system. Not direct injection, too costly, but multi-point. It's just a standard intake. We get to use premium fuel. I'll put it pretty rich because I don't know how this is going to do with knock. Boy, that is quite the intake there. Huge intake, tiny turbo, tiny piping. Looks like PVC piping. Looks like we got a little clipping error there, or a little model error. Oh well, that's what beta testing's all about. Timing, I'm gonna have the timing pretty conservative for now. Let's see how fast we can get this baby spinning. That looks good. Exhaust, we don't get a whole lot of options on this. You can only use a short cast for now. Hopefully they add some tubular and cool stuff to the turbo ones as well. We need to make 228. So we'll go with a 2.5-inch exhaust. Definitely need a catalytic converter to get that emissions down. So we'll scrub it off with a 3-way cat. No muffler. For this challenge, there's no loudness. I don't think. No. Loudness qualification, that is. So let's go into test mode. This screen is very important with the turbos because you really need to see how all this is flowing, because it can be very detrimental to making power or even to the engine running at all. So let's crank her up. So it starts, that's something. Looks like we might be making some decent power. But to pay close attention to the wastegate and to see that we're not overflowing or overheating the turbos, or the turbo. So 2,500 RPM, we got a wastegate opening already. And it looks like the intercooler is getting overflowed. Exhaust side of the turbo getting too hot, or I think that may actually just be the efficiency. It's no longer able to be efficient with this much exhaust gas. It's just my guess. And now the turbo is maxed out completely. And you can see, as soon as that happens, we lose all the power. Down. So the power's going up, and then it hits the higher RPM, and it eventually comes back down. Okay, so seeing that, let's just get a baseline here real quick. Looks like the price is, wow, we're actually pretty high up, more so than I thought we would be. Getting up to 8 psi and it's leveling out. Oh, but we're losing our psi there. We're losing boost in the high RPM, which is why we're losing power. So, emissions not very good. Didn't make our power, that's for sure. Lifespan still not even, well, I mean, it's in the ballpark. Economy is pretty high. Definitely need to get the economy better. So the first thing I want to try is just putting a bigger intercooler on and stepping up the turbo. So that gets us up to 12 psi. And let's see, just that will help the power out. You can see the numbers here on the dyno chart kind of give you a little cheater. I can tell you, of course the torque kind of fooled me there, but it'll tell you, give you a roundabout idea of what you're going to do. We definitely picked up a lot of power. You can see there it hit max boost and it leveled out rather than going back down. We did make the power now. Let's see. Ooh, economy got way worse. Responsiveness is still above 30. Lifespan went down a little bit, which means we might be getting some knock. I don't know. We're only, wow, 83 on run on knock. So, definitely need to get it to run a little leaner. Let's see. Anything else? We're still well within our cost. Let's try and bring the fuel mixture down just a little bit. Lean it out a little bit. Let's see how that does. Yeah, it's still there. But like I said, this game is very much so still in development. They are doing updates pretty frequently. What have we got there? So, helped the emissions quite a bit, and the economy. Ooh, responsiveness took a dive. That's surprising. I don't really know what to do about that. How can we get it more responsive? Let's try and advance the timing a bit, because we're still well within the octane limit here. Oh yeah, that stepped up our octane rating quite a bit. Improved the economy a lot, improved the responsiveness, improved power. So overall that was a pretty good little change there. Let's see, lifespan, still pretty short on lifespan. Emissions not quite there. What am I at on compression? 8.4. I don't really want to go much lower than that. Let's see if maybe it's being choked down with that intake. Sound a little better. That's got to be something, right? Improved our economy again. Still not quite where we need it. Emissions no change. Improved power and responsiveness. So still got some work to do. I don't really want to lean it out anymore. See what more aggressive cam would do. It's probably going to make a lot more power, but I think it might hurt the lifespan more than it's worth. Because obviously we're set on power. Now we just need to be more efficient. That sounds much better than that intake. Almost 300 horsepower, so we're definitely overshooting it on the power. No effect to lifespan, pretty negative effect to economy. So we'll take that actually down. We'll go the other way with that. Maybe a couple takes off on the compression. Better, getting close. Emissions better, that's good. Let's see, where were we on? So we got some. I'm gonna try and lean it out even a little bit further. That dyno chart came pretty short, and I think we're gonna run into some knock. Yep, definitely knocking. Not a whole lot. Actually, the emissions came down, so that's something. So I'm actually going to try and do what it says and lower the compression. Oh, there's our numbers back. Power back. Responsiveness is still too low. Economy, we got within the economy restraints there. And we got plenty of room left on the octane, so let's go back up on that a little bit. Oops. Okay, now we're going to start facing the thing I struggle with the most, and that is the lifespan. I have the hardest time getting motors to live. I don't know why that is. Okay, so let's see, we need to get responsiveness up, and it did. Not quite enough. Let me think of what we could do here. What if we shrink the compressor a little bit to get it to spool a little faster? But I'm actually going to reduce the RPM limit to help it live longer. So we'll try that. Redlining a little lower. Improved responsiveness again, barely. Improved the lifespan. So let's see what we can do here. How are we on that? Okay, so let's give it a bit more fuel. And then a little bit more compression. A little bit more timing. A dash of this, a dash of that. Alrighty. So it doesn't feel like we're getting up to full PSI sooner, but it's dropping off at about 6,000. So I might limit it at 6,000, believe it or not. It didn't hurt the economy as I expected it to, but responsiveness came back for sure. So that compression has a lot to do with the responsiveness. Interesting. So let me bump that up again. Bring this down to 6,000, and I'm going to actually increase the boost a little bit. Knocking. So what can we do there? It's just try that. Now, when you make small changes like that, you don't necessarily have to sit through the whole dyno test. You can just hit skip, but it kind of takes the fun out to me. So, still not there with responsiveness. What if give it even more boost, take off a little, or sorry, give it a little bit more fuel, and get a little bit more compression. It's a pretty big swing there. I'm worried we're going to lose our emissions rating though. Oh, so close. So close. Still good on economy. Still kind of struggling with lifespan. But let's get that down another couple hundred RPM, I think. Pretty low revving motor, but it's a pretty big engine for 4 cylinders. You kind of expect it to. I don't know what I was going for there. Small change, I'm just going to skip through that. Didn't help the responsive. Okay, so now I've gotten the responsiveness. Now I've gotten the responsiveness back up there at 30, so right at the borderline. Now I've got to get the lifespan up. Pricing wise, we got about $100 to play with. I'm gonna try and increase the quality on the bottom end to a 3. And on the top end, up to a 3. Let's see what that does to our price. Not a huge increase. Let's see what it does to the lifespan. So I'm actually not too pleased with that power curve. I could use some tuning to get it smoother. But big jump in lifespan, so that's good. Let's take this up to 3 as well, and the fuel system. Now let's see. Oh, now we're pushing that 1800 really close. But maybe now that I see we're making the power, I can 58,000. Here. I'm not too sure. Doesn't really affect it. I'm just curious what the aluminum block does to things. Oh, a huge increase in lifespan. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if it's because it's an iron block and an aluminum head that was causing that issue. Tis a mystery. But now I've just got to reduce the price by $50, which I can probably do with a little adjusting in the quality. Let's see. And we're still a little too expensive. We're still meeting all the qualifications though. Don't need this so much. Maybe one down on that as well. $3. I need $3. There we go. Penny pinching. Come on, baby. Alright, we got it. It's only bronze though, so I'm going to work on it a little bit more off camera, so I'll join you when I'm actually getting close. Okay, so here we are, about 45 minutes later, and I've been tinkering. Realistically, this was probably not the easiest way to go for this challenge. I definitely don't think I could get more than silver out of it, but I think I'm getting really close. Let's see. Changes. Gone back to dual override cam. Have gone with a cheap China turbo. I've been messing with these guys. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Running really lean. I've changed every option available pretty much. Even went with a little bit smaller of a motor. Now I'm just trying to trim cost. I really don't know any other ways to get the points that I need. So, try some things out. So what I'm finding is either I'm reducing the quality so much that the motor isn't meeting its standards, or I'm not making it cheap enough to get these points from the total cost under 1,800, which is a 30% point bracket. Okay. 1176, what do we need? I think that's what we needed. Okay. I'm done with this one. I'm not going for gold. I'm not going for platinum. I might come back to it and try, I think maybe an NA V8, or maybe even a high revving inline 6 may have been the easier way to go. But I got to mess around with the turbo, learned a ton about how the turbo stuff works, and overall, it was still a lot of fun. So, alrighty, actually, let's go back to that. I think it saves your settings. Yep, it was 1176. boy, cutting it close. So that's our beauty there. I think, I'm curious if I got this to work a little better or not. Not really. But it worked, so I'm not complaining. Alright, now just for the fun of it, I want to see something. Let's see what it sounds like. The racing take and no cat. Very attractive sounding engine, I must say. Of all the sound files in the game, 4 cylinders I would say need the most work. The rest of them are sounding pretty good. The 4 cylinders are just sounding a little flat still. They don't have that high-pitched whine like you expect them to. E5 turbo. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that little plate before. So that's going to do it for this episode. Big thanks to the automation team. They put a like on the last video and shared it on their Facebook page. I really appreciated that. Please show the automation developers some support and vote for them on the Steam Greenlight. It will help them out a ton if they get this game greenlit. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.